How's it going, everybody? It's Frisby Moonsong here. Yow! And today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at what we think, since obviously the regionals was recently, what would be the top 5 decks of the format. Now, before we do that, we obviously have a giveaway, damn it, for you guys from this video, if you recall, and only a few of you commented what you would like, what you think I would be up against, and what position you think I would come. So we have the people on the wheel of names of who all did. So we are going to roll it. So the first winner will get two of these. So well, one of these. You will get the first winner will get the sleeves and the mat. Thank you so much to Solarpop and Unplug Yourself for sponsoring us with this stuff. So the first winner will get the sleeves and the mat, and the second winner will get the deck box and the file, which is really cool for the IP Mask Arena stuff. So let's go to the first winner and see who gets it. Let's go. First winner is... Wow, congratulations, Tristan, once again. You win the sleeves and the mats. So that's the first winner. Going to you, sir. We will remove you from the list so we see who are the last who is the last winner of the deck box and the file, which is going to be Mr. Ines van der Westhuizen. Congratulations to you, sir. You win the mat. So if we look at the comments over here, we see Mr. Tristan commented about, I predict you're winning, and you're winning against Sky Striker. Thank God I didn't end up facing Sky Striker in the final. That was really close. And Mr. Innes asks, great, grats, man. Did you have any Lich matchups as you saw in the response? I did not. I think there was only one Lich player in the tournament, I believe, which I expected a lot more of. So cool, there we go. We have the two winners of that. Congratulations to Mr. Innes for winning the file and the deck box, and to Tristan for winning the mat and the sleeves. So thank you to Solarpop and Unplug Yourself once again. But let's get on to the decks. So coming in at number 5, we have Tri Brigade. Now I think Tri Brigade is still really good as a pure deck. It does really well. It can still play DPE, which is really cool. It can still make things like Appaloosa and still combo off a little bit and has a chance to kill you. And with Revolt still being there, it is really good. Yes, tanky went to 1, but it still has a lot of potential with Rescue Cat and so on and so forth. So it's still got potential as a deck to do really well, and I think it earns this number 5 slot because I've seen it doing well in a couple of tournaments. Now coming in at number 4, a deck I think is really strong, and I think a deck that people overlook, but I think it's almost on par with consistency with so many decks, and it actually can have so much follow-up, and it makes such good boards with like so little resources. We have Dragon Link. I think Dragon Link is a very scary deck, especially with the Strudo coming back. That's also a possibility for dragons to play, which is really nice. So this is like a deck that does need to be looked out for, because Striker Dragon is still a thing. You know, you still got all these players which are insanely good. So yeah, this is something to look out for. Also with Safet and the Chaos package and the White Buster. So it's a really good deck to look out for, really good deck to play. It can play through a lot of negates. Going first, it can set up like Seal Savage Tiding, which is insane because Chamber is still a thing. So this is something that's really good, and I think it deserves this number 4 spot, and I'm surprised not as many people are playing it. Now coming in at number 3, we have Prank Kids. Prank Kids has shown itself to be a really good tier 1 contender, topping so many events lately, doing so well, and with the adventure engine coming into play, I think this deck is insane. The way it can chain block its only thing that needs to go off to go full combo is really nuts. Obviously it still loses to things like Nibiru, but then still with the adventure package it still does well. It also has Parallel Exceed that it can make into plays and make rank 4s. It has the ability to summon Totally Awesome, which is really good, and it's got the space to play so many hand traps. So this is a really good deck to consider looking into the game, and it's not too expensive to build, I don't believe, but it's a really fun deck to play, and I've seen it do really well. It came second at our regionals, so that's really insane to see. Then coming in at number 2, I believe, is Phantom Knights. We all knew Phantom Knights was going to be one of the best decks of the format. Bardiche and the double Fog Blade is insane, and it hits a lot of decks right now. And with the adventure package allowing you to discard some of your adventures, Phantom Knight stuff, it's really consistent, really good. And if it goes first, Scythe Lock is still a thing, DPE is still a thing. There's not too much you can do, especially if you're not playing one of those decks. Now, a couple honorable mentions that I feel should be on here before we go into our number 1 spot. Now, these are kind of obvious, but a couple of the honorable mentions, and one of them could have still made the list, but because I haven't seen much play of it here in South Africa, I don't think it's quite made the list quite yet. But the honorable mentions, one of them being Eldritch, with skill drain coming to 3, being allowed to play Extravagance. Eldritch is really good. Throwing in goes and match, and there can be only ones. This deck is really insane right now and has the potential to do so much. So this is one to really watch out for when it comes to playing in tournaments. If you're not expecting it, if you don't have that back row hate, it will come and sneak up on you out of nowhere. So watch out for these Eldritch decks. They are really good, really consistent as well, because they can also, even if they're destroyed, they can still banish themselves to set more, so it does have that grindability, which is really nice. Then our other honorable mention, we have Fluunderies. Fluunderies flying into the scene over here with the new quick play spell, making it really good, because now the biggest weakness of this deck is Imperm and Veiler, and now with the quick play spell allowing you to dodge that, it really works really well. And with them also not needing the extra deck, Extravagance is still a draw 2, and Duality makes it really good, because then you don't need to special summon at all with this deck. So it does have lots of potential to be insane. Also, being able to main Dimension Shifter is really strong and can kill a lot of decks. So this is one of the decks you can look out for that's going to be really good, and watch out for your local scene. It's also pretty easy and cheap to build, considering how cheap the cards are for Fluunderies. And also, the only thing will probably be difficult is the Extravagance and maybe the extra deck, depending on how much you want to play, but it's really nice. And the last honorable mention goes to, and yes, this was hit a bit on the ban list, but it still has a lot of potential. I think Invoked Dogmatica is really good. This is still a deck that you will see at your locals, and it will still throw you, of course. Winder is still a card. Nadir 7 has been hit to 2, which hits the consistency a little bit, but it's still a really good deck to play. There's also still Small World that you can throw in for the consistency and add the hand traps that you want to. Macabre is still a really good strong negate. Dogmatica Punishment is still an insanely good trap. So this is something really to look out for in the coming tournaments. And then the final deck that I think is obviously first place, and I think you guys have all figured it out by now, and it's because of the consistency and because of how well I've seen it do here. It is going to be Sword Soul Tenyi, or at least, yeah, I think Sword Soul Tenyi is the best variant of it. I've seen people play Hulk Fibrax builds, so this is a really good deck right now, and the reason why I think it's the best deck currently is because it is the most consistent deck of the format, and at least you will open combo 93% of the time, I would expect, which is really good. Tenyis are insanely good. There's also Tenyi, there's Tenyi Brave right now, that's also a really good deck, but the only thing with Tenyi Brave, it's not as consistent as this is, so that's why I still believe this is still one of the best decks. It doesn't have as high of a ceiling as Tenyi Brave, but it still has the consistency to keep it going constantly, and eventually over these big tournaments you will see it winning. So let me know what you guys think are some of the best decks of the format, what you guys think can still do well, and let me know what you play at your locals that just kicks ass. Alright, but for me, I have another idea coming up soon which you guys are going to love, and it's going kind of back to my roots when I used to play water decks, so we'll see if you guys can figure it out, and that is coming really soon in a set that is coming out soon as well, which we are really excited for, so we're looking forward to that. But until then, from me, Frisby Moonsong, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers, guys. Yow!